A very good morning to all my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 5th May 2020. Day is Tuesday. I'll start today's discussion with this interesting quote by Mark Twain. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Now, getting started is, I think, one of the most difficult thing that students face. I'm not just talking about students, but all of us. For us, starting something is the most difficult thing. So the question is how to start something. And the simple answer is start without thinking, right? Start without thinking about whether you will achieve it or whether you will fail. You have to start doing that thing. And when to start it? I think the best time to start is right now. If you want to prepare for any particular examination, if you want to start doing exercise, if you want to start any good habit, then start doing it from today itself, from this moment itself. Don't wait for the evening time or the afternoon time. Do it right now, and you have started the thing. And then make sure that you do it every single day, and it will become your second nature. So think about it. With this, dear friends, StudyIQ has launched a smart course. Now, this smart course is designed by the best faculties of our country. It is a dedicated smart course for Civil Services Examination. It covers both pre and mains examination. And to find out more about it, all you have to do is check out our mobile application. Download our mobile app on your phone and go through this smart course. One more thing, I'm sure most of you will be aware about this thing, but if not, then let me tell you that Civil Services or UPSC has changed the date of pre-examination 2020. To find out more about it, do check out a video that is available on our YouTube channel. To download the PDF of today's discussion, today's lecture, check out my Telegram channel. Make sure that you share this lecture with other students. Hit the like button if you have learned something from today's discussion, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On our table, we have total 5 articles. The first one is, of course, this one is about Cauvery River. The second one is about pandemic, a catch-22 situation in which we find our country. Then one article is about the Food Corporation of India, very important article. And I have 2 articles from Times of India newspaper. These 3 are from the Hindu. This one is about Kashmir encounter. And the 5th one is very important. It is talking about a change that was already going on, but coronavirus, this whole episode, has given a new fuel to this fire of change. And the change that normally takes 5 years or 10 years time, this sort of changes are taking place in few weeks and few months time. So very interesting thing that we'll go through in this last article. So first one is about Cauvery River. Cauvery River is there on your screen. Now, dear friends, talking about some basic stuff about the rivers or river system of our country. We have basically 2 divisions, right? You have these Himalayan rivers. They originate from this range of Himalaya, and they are perennial rivers. Basically means you find water in these rivers 24/7, 365 days. Of course, the quantity will go up and down depending on the season. But Himalayan rivers water is quite plenty, because in summertime the snow melts. Then as well you will have more water. Winter time you get the snowfall, again more water. Monsoon time rainfall, again water. So this rivers, Himalayan rivers are, northern rivers are perennial rivers. If you come to this portion here, if we divide India into this 2 halves, right, then these rivers are, of course, big rivers. You will find water throughout the year, but the quantity, you will see a big drop in quantity in summertime, because evaporation and rising demand of water. So these rivers will have less water compared to northern rivers, of course. Today we are going to talk about Cauvery, that you can see on your screen. It starts from here and it ends here. This is the mouth of this river in Bay of Bengal. So this portion is called the mouth of a river. So mouth of this river is here in Bay of Bengal. As far as its catchment area is concerned, on your screen you can see that it is just originating from Karnataka and entering Tamil Nadu, and then finally Bay of Bengal. But you have 4 stakeholder parties here. You have Karnataka, of course. Total catchment area of this river is somewhere around 81,000 square kilometer. Out of that, 34,000 square kilometer is in Karnataka. Then Tamil Nadu plus Puducherry. Puducherry is our union territory, isn't it? So let me write it a bit proper here. Puducherry, right? Total catchment area of these two parties, one is state, one is union territory. It is somewhere around 44,000 square kilometer. And then you have Kerala as well. A small portion, but Kerala is a stakeholder of this river, and it is 2,866 square kilometers. So this four parties, when I say four parties, or when I say four states, of course I know that Puducherry is a union territory, but to make it easier, I'm saying it as a state. So four states are associated with this particular river. Supreme Court already gave a very important verdict back in February 2018 about this Cauvery Water Management Authority. Now, the reason why we are discussing this particular article or this particular topic is because on 24th April 2020, central government came out with this notification that this Cauvery Water Management Authority will work under the administration of Jal Shakti Ministry, Union Ministry of Jal Shakti. Now, there are a few political parties, there are a few opposition parties, they are not happy with it. There are a few farmers associations, they are blaming that by taking this Cauvery Water Management Authority under central government's ministry or Jal Shakti Ministry, it will this authority will become a puppet of the central government. Now, this is not a right argument, because this is not the only interstate river water board or authority that is working under Jal Shakti Ministry. There are 8 other interstate river water boards that are working under Jal Shakti Ministry. And in the past as well, this Cauvery River Authority that worked from 1998 to 2013. Prime Minister used to be the chairman, and chief ministers of this basin states were like members of this Cauvery River Authority. So at that point of time as well, central government was the main, you can say, stakeholder. And whenever you find if there is any problem between two states, then central government will step in, right? It's clearly given in our constitution. One more thing, that apart from meeting the procedural requirements, Supreme Court has clearly stated, Supreme Court back in its 2018 verdict, it has distributed the portion of water between all these 4 stakeholders. So it is clearly been distributed by Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has given exact figure as well of the distribution of water. So here, central government is not going to change anything. Central government, by this notification, it has not changed the character of this authority. It has not changed the function or powers of this CWMA. So this is just sort of, basically this opposition is more political. And this is something quite common. You find this sort of issues, and this is not just about Cauvery, with other rivers as well. We have so many issues going on. That's why we have this 8 interstate river water boards. So during summertime, when you have this evaporation and water demand goes up and water scarcity goes up as well, so you find this sort of political issues going on. And in monsoon time as well, when we have new rainfall and new water comes in, and then it comes about distributing water. So these are the 2 seasons where we find political debates as well as conflicts. It's a season for this conflicts as well, water related conflicts. So it's quite common and getting more and more common these days, which is very sad. But anyway, as far as this CWMA is concerned, I'm not saying that it is a perfect body and central government has acting in a perfect way. As far as this full-fledged chairman is concerned, it's been 2 years and we don't have any full-fledged chairman. So central government should do everything it can to appoint a full-fledged, a full-time, proper chairman. Moving on to next item, a way out of the pandemic. India is in definitely a catch-22 situation. Catch-22 situation is, it's like a dilemma. What to do? Whether we should open this lockdown, or whether we should continue it. If you continue the lockdown, then it is going to kill our economy. It is going to create a food crisis. If you don't continue it, right, then it means if you release this lockdown partially or maybe fully, then it will bring more cases of infection. So we are definitely in a catch-22 situation, because infection curve, we have not or we have failed, I would say. I'm not saying that we have failed, means when I say we have failed, so far we have not succeeded, I would say, in flattening this curve. Numbers are still going up, right? And there is a positive thing as well. If numbers are going up, that means we are testing more people. So it's not always bad. But again, we need to flatten the curve. That's our first priority, and then it should drop from there. So this is our long term, or when I say long term, let's hope like in next 15 days or 20 days, we'll see a flattening as well as drop in this curve. But this is not happening at present. So this is the thing that is creating this catch-22 situation. So can the global economy be kick-started while keeping the health crisis under reasonable control? Yes. First of all, what we need to do is we need to produce more testing kits. We need to test as many people as possible. You know very well that we have talked about this thing, that South Korea started testing people on mass scale. It started testing some 20,000 people per day. And China, what they did is they went ahead with this micromanaged region-specific quarantine strategy. They quarantined this whole state of Hubei, this Hubei province or the state. What we did, we went for this national lockdown, but testing is not that extensive. Nowadays, things are going in right direction. We are finding new cases. As I told you that this could be one reason that we are testing more people, and this is the reason why we are finding new cases every day. But we need to do more. National average is somewhere around 729, or let's say 750 per million. This is way too small, right? We have more people, we have human resources. So what we need to do is we need to do more tests. I would say somewhere around 3-4 lakh tests per day. This should be our minimum testing figures. UK is going ahead with some 1 lakh tests per day. That's what they are going to do. They have extended lockdown till 1st June, and they are going to test 1 lakh people per day. So many people argue that we cannot do that thing. They have like less, their population is not that much, but we have high population, then we have more foots as well. You have more hands, they can work. So this is not an excuse. We are going to see this we are already facing severe labor shortage, and this is going to impact our food security, because Rabi food is ready, but if transportation is not taking place, loading and unloading is not taking place, and then your Kharif season, you need to prepare your soil, you need to prepare your agriculture field for Kharif season, and for that you need your expert laborers. Most of them have gone back to their villages, so you have to bring them back, and you have to unlock this economy as well, isn't it? Offices and many factories, they need to get back to their businesses as quickly as possible. We cannot allow lockdown to continue forever. So for that, this article is providing this solution, that we need to produce test kits and PPEs, that is personal protective equipments, on a large scale. So this will create employment as well. Distribution will create employment, and it will work as a safety gear. So we can allow more people to come out, more people can work wearing this extra production that we will do of this test kits, and you can stock it as well for future needs. And this article is also suggesting, not clearly, but it is also giving this hint that as we all have tasted this in this lockdown, we have seen clear skies, clear rivers, nature has repaired itself. We have just seen a small glimpse of nature repairing. If we if we change a few our bad habits, right? If we can decentralize our cities, if we can, our cities are like creating huge amount of pollution. So if we can change the way we are doing things, and things will change, of course, then we can protect our environment as well. And this is the right time to do that things. That's what this article is suggesting, that people will cooperate more if you take some decisions that will protect our climate and environment. Moving on to third article, a grain stockist with a role still relevant. It all started back in 1964. Before that, you know that our country was not self-reliant in food production. We used to get food grain in charity from USA. Then Green Revolution took place. A few days ago, we were talking about M.S. Swaminathan as well. He is father of Green Revolution in India. And then we got this Food Corporation of India. It plays a very important role in procuring grains from farmers, and then it distributes this grain via public distribution system, that is PDS, to the needy people of our country. For a very long period of time, FCI has faced various different challenges. The biggest one is rats, and bigger than that is human rats. Rats are like literally rodents and pests destroying these stored food items, and human rats are those people who are making money from corruption. They are selling this stock in the market and making money. They are stealing this thing. So this has always been there. We need to get rid of it, because the reason why this thing is going on and on is because still we are not using modern storage facilities. Still we are using that classical, outdated, retro storage facilities. Then there is lack of proactive liquidation policy. We have a huge amount of stock at one place. In the same city, you will find that people are dying or they are starving of hunger. So lack of management, proper management of distribution, is leading to this two things, right? Either things are getting rotten and corruption is going on. But still, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of this FCI altogether. We can tweak it, we can change it, and we can fix issues, right, that are going on with this FCI. The FCI has consistently maintained the PDS, a lifeline for vulnerable millions across the countries, and this is a very important role of this FCI. Now, as of 13th April 2020, the FCI had already moved 3 million tons post-lockdown to states including Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Karnataka, and those in Northeast, because many people, they are heading back home. They have reached back home. They have reached to their villages. So these states are going to see, a rise in demand of this food items. So FCI has done this right thing by providing this food item to all these states who are in need or who will be in need. It has also enabled purchases by states and non-governmental organizations directly from FCI depots. So this is again a positive step. So you don't have to go to a central place, means food will not travel to a central bank and from there it will go back to, it will be distributed at various different places. Again, transportation cost and storage cost and handling cost will go up. So this is again a very good step. Pre-positioning shipments where grain is stored closer to demand hotspot is something that it should do, like distributing. Few days ago we were talking about this topic and I told you that decentralized network is something that we need. We have it on books, we have it in some places, but we need it now. We can construct it. This is a very good way of creating more job opportunities. Under MG Narega, you can construct this tanks, storage tanks, containers at a grassroots level, at village level. This will provide more jobs and you can distribute it over there. So transportation cost will come down as well. Let's say a village that falls under this wheat belt. So if let's say this village has produced 100 kilo of wheat and your storage allotment, your quota for your village is, let's say, 10 kilo. So this 10 kilo you can directly store it here and then the rest of 90 kilo can go to other places, or FCI can take this 90 kilo. So 10 kilo less is good. Then the next village, if it is not, if it has produced, let's say, 80 kilo and the requirement is 70 kilo, then 90 can go to the nearest village. So in this way, if we microplan this way, then transportation cost will come down and you will have proper storage for various different villages, so you don't have to transfer or transport this food grains in crisis time. So this will make things a bit more decentralized. So that's a step, or that's a change that we need. Then you have this FIFO, that is first in first out. This is a method that is followed by FCI. So the food grain that it will get first, it will give it to you first. It will go out first as well. So if you have got something last year, then first it will give that thing out that it has got last year. So that's a good thing in normal times. But now we cannot follow this FIFO, right? It is better that if some area has produced any particular thing, and if you want to distribute it, then distribute it right now. That makes more common sense and logic. Then you can rope in NAFED, NAFED. What is the full form of NAFED? This is your question number 1. So you can rope in NAFED and farmer producers organizations, and you can distribute food crop using this NAFED and FPO, and you can also distribute items like seeds, fertilizers, packaging material, and so on. Like FCI can distribute these things to farmers using this FPOs as well as NAFED. And in 2015, Shanta Kumar report also recommended that we need more innovations in this food management system. FCI, we need more innovations. So recommendations of Shanta Kumar will also make this whole FCI a bit more effective and efficient. So that's what we need to do. Then we have a Kashmir encounter. Yesterday we were going through this news item, remember, and you can observe this picture here, right? In the skin of a sheep, this Pakistan is behaving like a wolf. 5 security personnel were martyred and 2 terrorists were killed in this operation in Kupwara district. Unfortunately, we lost Colonel Ashutosh Sharma, a decorated commanding officer of Rashtriya Rifles Battalion. Early on, you remember there were like 5 terrorists. They were killed. So there was a team of total 7 terrorists. They tried to infiltrate, but this Haider and one more guy, they escaped this whole operation. So they were going to come back anyway. So they came back, and then this whole operation took place. And unfortunately, we lost our 5 brave hearts. Now, one thing is clear, that Pakistan's terror factories are also perennial, 24/7, 365 days they operate, and this has been said by our chief as well, Army Chief M.M. Narwane. He said that this Pakistan is trying to push more and more terrorists, right? Infiltration process it has boosted its efforts to infiltrate more terrorists inside our country, because their whole plan of Jammu and Kashmir failed. They thought, like, after nullification of this special state of Jammu and Kashmir, India will see a rise of riots and other things, but nothing like that happened as per Pakistan's plan. So they have no option left now. They are trying to infiltrate more and more terrorists. So we need to keep our eyes and ears open. Of course, that's what we are doing. And at the same time, we need to go for regional as well as global cooperation to create more pressure on Pakistan, that Pakistan should stop its launch pads, and if required, then we can go for surgical strikes as well. Before they reach here, we should reach to them, and we need to hunt this terrorist down. Last one is about the pandemic isn't changing everything, right? It is basically speeding up things. Changes were already going on. If you see Spanish flu, it killed 50 to 100 million people back in 2019 and 2020s, but after that 2020s we saw this economical boost, right? This market went up. It accelerated things because things were already going on in positive direction. Of course, we saw this world war and other things, but after that economic development started skyrocketing back in 1920s. For a very long period of time, we have seen this thing, particularly after 2008, countries are turning inwards, right? Protectionism, this whole theory, I explained it to you. Remember that Mr. Trump, and before Mr. Trump, we talked about this European political parties. There are a few European countries where we saw this extreme right parties coming into power. They are talking about stepping out of this union, They are talking about producing things locally, right? Stopping the movement of people, money. Don't invest somewhere else. Invest in your country. Make your own goods. Use your own goods. And now they are talking on flow of internet data as well. This lockdown has created new habit of working from home, shopping from home, studying from home, playing at home, and all these things. And after lockdown as well, this is going to stay with us. Now, populist leaders, they have got more power now. They are bashing more foreigners. Few days ago, USA came out with this policy that it will not allow any immigration to control this coronavirus. There are a few leaders, they are, attacking world trade. They are, giving statements that are against international migration. And this is going to get more fuel after this coronavirus. This coronavirus pandemic has given more speed, more pace to this ideology and this changes that were already going on. It would have taken 5, 6 years or maybe 10 years to see those changes, right? Big changes. But this coronavirus has given it such a speed that we can see these changes in like few weeks and few months' time. Global trade is projected to fall 15% in 2020, and this post-virus recovery could be dampened by more divisive trade politics. There are so many countries, they are anti-China now. Britain, France, India, Brazil, Italy, Japan, USA is already there. Then anti-WHO, WTO views are also going on in different countries. Presidents like Emmanuel Macron of France, he has said that delegating our food supply to other is madness. We have to take control. We have to take back the control of food production. Russia is world's largest wheat exporter. It has imposed quotas on grain exports. Vietnam, one of the largest rice producer, has suspended rice exports. There are countries, 60 nations, who are producing masks, gloves and other PPE items. They have limited or banned exports of this PPEs and other items. Now just imagine what will happen with those nations who don't have this manufacturing capacity. They will die because of this coronavirus, because they are not getting these items from these nations. Democracy was in retreat. Autocrats were on the march before the virus appeared, and now they will get more powers, right? More autocratism will be there. More power, more centralization of power, more division of the world. When I say world, I mean to say that we'll see new groups, we'll see individual countries, right? Anti-globalization views will go on. They were there, but now they have, as I told you again and again, that they are getting more fuel now. This universalist spirit of globalization was fading before the pandemic and is harder to find now. Driven originally by rising wages in China, now business is coming back, right? It was going to China, but now it is coming back to this developed world. It may bring some benefits for India. Like there are many countries, they are trying to shift their business to India. They are going for this 1+1 policy. That means you will have one factory in China and you will have one factory in other country. Maybe India, maybe Vietnam. There is a competition over there as well. It's not going to be that easy, low-hanging fruit. Japan is offering like $2 billion to companies relocating out of China as a part of its coronavirus stimulus package. And this pandemic arrived like a propaganda gift for nature, propaganda gift from nature to populists who want to contain all things global, from migration to the internet. As far as internet is concerned, more national internet, right? China started this national internet. Now Russia, Indonesia and other countries are doing the same thing. European Center for International Political Economy, they started this new tough rules on data localization. Now India and other, there are 80 countries who are promoting this data localization. So these things are, these things are rising, and this is all because of this, not just of coronavirus, but it's an opportunity for these people, this ideology to promote itself. There are a few things like films and other things were quite big, but now this video gaming and other things will get bigger than films and other digital things. And this whole trend might have taken 5 to 10 years, but now these changes are visible in few weeks time. So It's going to change, right? The world is going to be very different. But still, let's wait and watch and let's see how it unfolds. News items on your screen, dear friends. Confusion prevailed yesterday, but now things are clear that government is going to pay the fare of this train. For migrants, of course. Note for return of stranded Indians. They are going to come back step by step in phased manner from 7th May. Record recovery number 1074 people recovered, but still numbers are going added. We have added like 2573 new cases. Migrants take to Surat streets in protest, and there was a clash with police. These are the figures of South Indian states. Please make sure that you download the PDF and go through it. And then Punjab is celebrating 297th birth anniversary of Maharaja Jassa Singh Ramgarhia. My colleague will bring out a biography or life and teachings of Maharaja Jassa Singh Ji in maybe hopefully today or maybe tomorrow. Then Pakistan and India again news. Gilgit-Baltistan region, this portion of Ladakh that is under the control of Pakistan. Now Pakistan wants to conduct a general election over here, and India has of course opposed it. That is not fair. And Indian health workers on edge in Oman. Civil Services preliminary exam put off. A new date will be declared on 20th May. To find out more about it, do check out a video that is available on our channel, right? My colleague has discussed all things associated with this notification from UPSC. And DRDO has developed a disinfection tower. It can disinfect a room, 12 by 12 feet dimension room can be disinfected in like 10 minutes time. All your electronic gadgets and other the things on which you cannot apply chemical. So you can use this UV tower to disinfect your gadgets. And that's everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Jai Hind.